Hi, I'm Micki,
And I'm Kat.
and we are Cat and Mouse Astrology. Welcome to the new moon in Gemini. Yeah, at the end of May 2025. It's a nice moon.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a kind of a feel good moon compared to the rough ride that we've been on the last uh, the first part of the year has been a real rough ride.
It
I think for
has.
a lot of people and this is going to open us up to some new positive energy that's coming our way.
Great.
Shall we take a look?
Let's look at it.
Take a look. Here it is. So,
Oh,
yeah, got a big old, big trine and a minor trine in there. And we got a lot of blue lines. We like the blue lines. Give me all the blue lines I could get.
the harmonies, the getting alongs just fine.
Exactly. Now, I say that really generally. It's the red lines that help us get stuff done.
That's true. But sometimes we need support to get stuff done, and that's what the blue lines are.
Yep. And we have to have that balance of, things can't always be scraping and working, and sometimes you have to have the fun stuff.
God, no, right?
Yeah. So we're coming into some funner stuff. Now there's still some, an ongoing long-term square with Jupiter and Saturn that we're going to feel for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They're at the crossroads here, Aries, and at the end of Gemini, Jupiter is about to move into Cancer for a whole year.
Okay.
And Saturn is saying goodbye to Pisces. It's done. It's not going to go back into Pisces, is it? Shoot.
Thank God. I hope not. Let's just pretend like it's not.
I think it's going to go back into it is. It's going to go back into Pisces. What am I saying? It is going to go back into Pisces for about three-quarters of the year this year.
Ew.
Right. So it's only going to stay in let me take my other one forward for a second so I
I
don't
wanted to move on.
yeah, not
It's
gonna.
been a long time.
It has been 3 long years.
And for those of you with Saturn and Aries in your birth chart, Natalie, I wish you the best of luck for the next coming years, or with Saturn and Libra for that matter. Good
Yeah,
luck.
having Saturn opposite you is challenging.
Challenging.
Challenging. What are the kinds of challenges that you've gone through the last because you also have it opposite your node.
Right.
You've had it opposite you
Um,
in Pisces, right?
yes, and I feel like my life has been turned upside down multiple times over.
Uh-huh. And that's not all bad stuff, though. A lot of that's good
No.
changes.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's good changes. It's just challenging changes.
Yeah.
It's coming out of the blue, which was maybe a Pisces thing. I don't know what the characteristics will be like in Aries on the Aries Libra axis. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah. So it's
Neptune
going to
too
go
in
back. It is
retrograde.
going to go back, and it's really November that um, it turns back direct again. So we're going to have a few months of Saturn direct um, in Aries, its new sign, and then Saturn will back into Pisces because we're not finished yet. I know you think you are. I know you think you want to be finished with Saturn structuring your Pisces house, your watery, fluid, hard to pin down, difficult to organize. But that's what it's going to do. It's going to go back in there and say, okay, are you really done there? Are you really structured there in your Pisces house?
No, I'm not ready yet, I guess. If I'm being honest, I'm not ready for it to be done.
Yeah, and me too. Me too. Let's chat about that for just a second because I think that's we're not the only ones with this impact. 3 years in Pisces. I heard a wonderful analogy, I think is a beautiful analogy for um, Saturn and Pisces as like the ballet dancer,
Mm,
because it
ex-
requires ballet is really structured. And
true.
you know, Neptune in Pisces is an exalted art form, our
Okay.
highest consciousness, as well as delusion, illusion, and complete don't know what's happening here at all. But there's also that higher level where you see above the clouds, and there's this exalted place. And that's where that analogy, it was Nick Dagan Best. He does a lot of work on the history of planetary cycles, go
Mm,
back through centuries and stuff. He's
hmm.
got really great information about I think he's a major historian, astrological historian. But
Fascinating.
he talks about the analogy of the ballet dancer with Saturn,
Mm,
Neptune, and Pisces. And I like that. There's something that lets us know we can achieve something really beautiful with Saturn.
mhm. It's like structure, but grace.
Yeah, it doesn't just cut it all back. As a matter of fact, sometimes it makes me also think of when a sculptor, doesn't start from it starts with a solid thing and it sculpts in to
Yeah.
create the beautiful thing. It has to chisel away a whole lot of what's not needed,
Yeah.
make the beautiful thing that becomes the sculpture. So there's also something very Saturn, Neptune about sculpting, maybe more Saturn, Mars, but we've got a big Mars going on here too.
Yeah. Mars
What do you
trine Venus.
what do you think of this combination of Saturn and Neptune? Because that's where they're going to almost kiss each other, and then Saturn's going to back into Pisces,
Mhm.
and they won't actually have their delicious, well, depending on your perspective, they won't actually kiss. Saturn will not conjunct with Uranus exactly until 2026, and I think it's February.
Mm.
It's February 2026 that they actually conjunct. Yes.
Saturn and Uranus.
Yep.
Okay.
No, Saturn and Neptune.
Oh, Saturn and Neptune. Oh,
So
that's a long way away for being so close to each other.
no, Saturn and Neptune have been neck and neck for like almost the last year,
Hmm.
right? They've been
Right.
together in Pisces, co-present in Pisces, making the whole atmosphere. Um, where's the structure in this dream?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now they've both just touched into Aries.
They've both just gone into Aries, and let's look at them again. Let me share our screen.
Let's read those signs, those symbols too.
Yeah, let's definitely look at this because this is a new moon. This new moon is reflective of where we were last November. It's taken us forward not just 2 weeks in time, but 6 months in time. So this
Hmm.
is going to take us to that Saturn um, when it's back retrograde in Pisces. And then again in February 2026, this story will culminate. The Saturn Neptune story will culminate.
Okay. So 0 and 1. 0 is Saturn. Yes. Okay. A woman has risen out of the ocean. A seal is embracing her.
Oh, here we are. Read it one
And
more time, please.
a woman has risen out of the ocean. A seal is embracing her.
We talked about this symbology last time, the silky,
Yeah.
the shape changer.
The shapeshifter. The histories of theft and oppression is a Selkie story too.
Right. She stole his coat.
Right. And liberation.
And liberation. Uh-huh. Yeah. What's our 1 degree and it could be 1 or 2 degrees of Neptune in Aries.
Neptune, a comedian entertaining the group.
Ooh. What's the next one?
A cameo profile of a man in the outline of his country. So like if you took the president and put his profile on top of the like United States.
Yeah.
Or on a put like tore apart a mountain like a sculptor.
Read the 0 degrees up for again. That's the sun.
0. Saturn, a woman has risen out of the ocean. A seal is embracing her.
And 1 degrees.
A comedian entertaining the group.
And then two.
The cameo profile of a man in the outline of his country.
I just got a vision of Zelensky,
Oh
Volodymyr
yeah,
Zelensky, because he was a comedian before he had to become a warrior.
that's funny.
And again, I'm repeating from Nick Dagan Best, his major historical astrological history that goes through the major turning points in Russian history. And
Yeah.
Russian history, particularly in the 20th century, every single time Neptune is involved, Neptune was involved in the Russian Revolution. Neptune was involved, this same configuration was involved in the fall of the Berlin Wall. And here we are again.
Which
So I'm
configuration?
going
Saturn
to throw
Neptune?
it out there, and this is more wishful thinking than anything, but I would predict astrologically that this would be a good time for Putin to fall and for the comedian to be able to
Interesting.
shift skins. But that's wishful
Shapeshifters.
thinking. Yeah, let's see some shape shifting going on. There's a real positive connection with this moon.
Are you saying that's a Saturn Neptune thing as the Russia history? Is
Absolutely.
when those two come together? Interesting.
Yeah, very, like I said, check out Nick Dagan Best. He's got a whole thing on the astrology podcast with Chris Brenner on the history of Russia and the well, the
Wait,
Neptune
well,
Saturn cycles.
it's trine, it's sextile Mercury. So let's look at Gemini.
Yeah.
Mercury is at 2 degrees.
Yep. 2 degrees.
The Garden of the Tuileries in Paris.
We say again.
The Garden of the Tuileries in Paris. In Paris. The Tulip Gardens in Paris.
Tuileries. I think Tuileries is it's pronounced, but
Tuileries.
perhaps that's
Yeah, I
probably
can't
and
speak
I
French,
probably just
so
bageled it too.
I say
Sorry.
that.
That's
Say it
also
right?
interesting. It also corresponds with the French Revolution.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Tuileries. It doesn't look like that at all. I hate French.
I know it's because they don't pronounce the L's.
Or all kinds of
Yeah.
other things.
It was the French Revolution occurred at the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune in 1778. Yeah, that's right.
Interesting.
The French Revolution occurred, and we're coming up to this February of 2026.
Okay.
So anyway, again, the dissolve. I can't say that word. When the
Dissolution.
when the USSR dissolved was in
Yeah.
'89, also a Saturn Neptune cycle.
Interesting.
Yeah, Saturn Neptune. Uh,
And then 6 for our moon, an old-fashioned well.
hmm, an old-fashioned well.
Yeah. Well,
That's a
that's
deep subject. Give us some mythological context for this, can you?
for a well or for
Yeah,
more than that.
I'm thinking of the well. I mean, because that's actually not as simplistic. There's a reason we have that in so many sayings.
An old-fashioned well.
Deep as a well, the well runs dry, and that talks about our
Right,
not
right,
being able to
right.
speak. I mean, there's slews of analogies to the well in our language that let
There
us
are.
know that well is deep. See, I can't even
Yes,
do it.
yes. I mean, it's usually a source of life, right?
Right.
It's where Demeter cries next to the well when uh who's the lady who comes then and makes her laugh and convinces her she can go after Persephone. I'm blanking on her name. The like talking vagina lady.
No, but I like that way of remembering her. I hope you think of it.
The Good Samaritan, like Jesus at the well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
and
usually like a
Bridget,
life-giving thing.
Bridget was the guardian of all the wells in Ireland.
Bridget is the guardian of all the wells. Yeah.
The,
I'm sure if I
such
knew,
a goddess, they made her into a saint.
mhm, right.
So, yeah, Celtic mythology, the well is a place where the worlds can come together. So, kind of,
Right. Like
go ahead.
liminal spaces, like
Yeah,
portals. Yeah.
portals. Right, right. Where, I think of the Arthurian legend, where the lady in the lake and she holds up the sword, right? Um, I know in Celtic mythology, wells are a big deal because they
Mhm.
bridge again, that liminal space, like you say. There's an otherworldly nature here to this moon, then.
I feel that with the weather where we're at. It's like ridiculously not seasonal.
That's what I was just saying. It's like, this is so not seasonal.
No.
So strange.
It's like the veil is upon us where
Uh,
we're
the, the fog is covering the lake.
yeah.
Yeah. And, actually, to me, that seems like a really interesting analogy because with Saturn just now in Aries at this new beginning time, Saturn's cycle is really long.
Mhm.
Or, sorry, Neptune. When was the last time Neptune was in Aries?
Oh God, I don't even know.
I think it was, yeah, 1875,
Wow.
1861 to 75. The Civil War,
Civil War.
the Civil War
Civil War and Reconstruction.
and Reconstruction, which it never did reconstruct.
Right.
Yeah. So if we didn't think we were at an interesting point in history, this new moon prove us wrong.
Let's get Reconstruction right this time.
Yeah. Like maybe we should uh, I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah. Let's
We
just
have
do it
to,
right this time.
let's just make the change that's going to make us all feel better happen. I'm stuck in this topic in my writing because I'm writing an article right now called about ideals and illusions.
Mhm.
And ideals are those things that we make big, right?
Yeah.
We have ideals that we hold dear.
Yeah.
What if those ideals are an illusion?
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
And how do we feel when we are disillusioned?
Usually makes people angry.
Right. So what I'm thinking of through this, I'm just examining language, but I think that this language I'm examining is completely related to, what we're all going through here as Saturn and Neptune enter Aries and leave the liminal behind. But Saturn's not leaving the liminal because Neptune's coming with Saturn,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Saturn hasn't yet conjuncted with Neptune.
Neptune kind of is the liminal.
Right. Neptune is the liminal.
Yeah.
Neptune is the liminal. Um, Pisces was the fog on the lake. So
Right.
we have a whole, not quite a year left of this combination of the structure, time, chronos. That's the other word for Saturn. Um, the Grim Reaper, the end. There's only so much time. There's this limit to Saturn. Saturn is the limit. Saturn says, no, no, you're not done yet. You got to go back to Pisces and do some more. Saturn
Right.
is the taskmaster. Taskmaster, maybe even, in the context of slavery and slaveholding,
Mhm.
Saturn was the slaveholder and the structure that kept the slaveholder in place.
Right.
So it's Neptune. Neptune is the French Revolution.
Mm.
When it conjuncted with Saturn, the
And the
structure
Civil War.
and the Civil War and the end of the Soviet Union. So,
Mm.
you know, I fear, like most of us who study history, that time of revolt, because it's deadly and scary and people die. It's bloody and you might not come out the other side.
Yeah, it's kind of the only way we get any change made, though.
That's the fearful part, is that if, you know, when we have bullies on the playground and they're, literally physically harming other children, how do you stop them if not physically?
Right, exactly.
And perhaps that could be an evolution for us. Perhaps this new moon will open us to something else. We have to see there's a giant trine here.
Yeah,
Pluto is
okay.
involved in this puppy dog.
Is
This is
that at
transformational.
2 degrees?
Three, almost 4 degrees of air of Aquarius now.
Okay. 4 degrees Aquarius, a council of ancestors.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't it feel like it's time for I know this is repetitive because we've had Pluto in this place because it's so slow moving. Oh no, we haven't ever had Pluto in this place.
We haven't gotten to this point degree yet with
We haven't
Pluto.
we haven't gotten to this degree yet. This counts.
No, I've been
Something else
waiting
must,
for it. I've been waiting for it. It's a good
yeah,
one.
this
So
council.
that's great to have Pluto as the council of ancestors trine the new moon, which is an old-fashioned well.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
it really is. And that trine is extending, we've got Mercury coming into this. So it's going to be heralded.
Hmm.
Whatever's happening is not going to be happening in darkness. It's lit, illuminated by the sun. This is a new moon, and it's going to be heralded by Mercury, right? So this is we've been looking at it kind of broadly, but narrowly in the life of an Aries, for example, this is going to be bringing a realization of a dream or the dissolution of an illusion, right? The ending of an illusion.
Nice.
With Venus there and Chiron there in Aries with the combination of Saturn and Neptune, that's offering some loving healing.
Mhm.
So whatever we're crystallizing that will be crystallized between now, this new moon, and February, when the conjunction happens between Saturn and Neptune, is being just now marked in time with the almost conjunct Venus Chiron. They're within 5 degrees. So why don't you tell us what Venus and Chiron have to offer us? Because that seems really important.
Venus is a boxer entering the ring,
Oh,
and Chiron is a man possessed of more gifts than he can hold.
wow. Uh-huh. And Venus comes in with her gloves on saying, give it up, bully.
Mhm. Mhm.
Share. You're going to go stand in the corner until you learn to share.
That's right. That's right. Because Mars is at a houseboat party and all flourishing is mutual.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Now that's kind of an interesting configuration here, all in all.
Right?
I do want to bring it back down to the personal. This is really nice for your Gemini house.
Yeah.
Wherever Gemini is going on, Jupiter's getting a kiss goodbye. Jupiter's been here for a year in Gemini,
Right.
blessing you in your Gemini house.
Right.
What's been going on for you in your Gemini house, Kat? You been doing anything cool? What's Gemini? Is it your
Gemini is my third house.
third?
And so it's just like local things, right?
Teaching.
Teaching. Yeah,
Teaching that is not, ninth house is higher education, travel, broad travel. So
right,
teaching younger people is the third house and local travel.
right. And I
How's,
did do a lot of broad travel too. So like there was an opposition to that other house that was pretty abundant.
yeah.
Thanks, Jupiter.
Can you feel that Jupiter might be offering a last gift as it goes out?
Ooh, it's an interesting idea. I mean, there's probably another travel. There's probably some more travel out before Jupiter fully moves up into Cancer.
And again, we have an ongoing square with Jupiter. Um, it's not by sign at this point, see, because it won't really be a square until it goes into Cancer.
Yeah.
Um,
North Node, though. It's square the North Node.
it is square the North Node.
Hmm.
But we're going to start feeling more and more the square with Jupiter and Saturn. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I think it might help to structure some big ideas
Yeah,
that are happening. This new moon is offering big ideas because Jupiter's there,
right.
because
Jupiter,
Mercury's there.
Mercury. It is a
Yeah,
good Gemini moon. Beautiful.
beautiful. What's 26?
26 Gemini.
Yeah, or 27, because it's almost 27 degrees Gemini.
A society granting bankruptcy. Wait, 26 or 27?
I'd go with 27,
Okay.
or maybe do both just to give us the perception shift.
Okay. A young traveler emerging from the woods gazes at far cities. Or society granting bankruptcy to him, a man leaves the court.
Wow. A
A
man.
man possessed of too many gifts than he can carry.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that feels more like it. Uh-huh. Sure does. Well, there's been a big theft,
There has been,
a
and bankruptcy
very,
laws are not applied equally.
a very big theft. Yeah. Uh-huh. But I wonder what's going to happen when Saturn conjuncts Neptune.
Right.
So, I know that some people don't take well to being deceived
No,
and stolen from.
no.
So let's see how this plays out. What about our square with Pluto and the black moon Lilith?
Oh, okay, where's the black moon? Well, we know Pluto is at the Council of Ancestors and 6 degrees Scorpio. Deep sea divers.
Yeah. Black moon and is digging deep, and Pluto is in trine with this moon. That feels like, especially with the Council of Ancestors, there's a whole lot of there's a whole lot we can there's a lot of resources available. We may not
Yes,
have tapped the resources,
right,
but there are resources available,
right. And they are deep.
and they're deep, and they're backed by the Council of Ancestors.
Right.
Or they're in opposition, or they're not in opposition, they're in square with the ancestors. There may be some conflict about where, in what ways, how deep they will counsel to go. There's some conflict between Black Moon and Pluto that may help us turn a corner, but there is a conflict here.
Well, there's probably like more than one Council of Ancestors. That might be where the conflict is.
Yeah, back to our different ideals and things.
Hmm.
So for me, I have been Jupiter in Gemini has been there for a year, and Gemini is my ninth house. So I've been writing a book, and I'm timing what's going on, using astrology because I find it is the best calendar to try to finish this book before Jupiter enters Cancer,
Hmm.
and because that's a sea change.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when Jupiter enters Cancer, I no longer have the blessing in my house of higher
Right.
learning and publishing. It goes
Right.
into something else. So
Right.
I'm trying to really get the benefit out of this Jupiter new moon. We have until the 9th of June before Jupiter moves into Cancer. So, what do you want to finish up in your life, in your Gemini house, that really benefits from that blessing of Jupiter?
Mm.
I think that's a good thing to think about.
A good thing to think about.
Yeah. The only thing else we haven't talked about is Mars.
It's the houseboat party.
Oh, that's a houseboat party. Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. And Mars is in trine with Venus. Oh, yeah, it's time to have some, it's time to let out some excess energy in a positive way. It's
Hmm.
healing. It's healing to do that.
Hmm.
With the Venus, Chiron, and Mars and all in positive stuff there. And Jupiter's involved in this because we have a sextile with Jupiter
Yeah.
and the trine with Mars and the conjunction, loose conjunction of Venus, a growing conjunction. It's going to get closer in conjunct. Um, I say, yeah, go have a house party.
Hmm.
Go have a house party. Let some tension out. Think about what you want to finish up in your Gemini house, how you want to use the blessing of the new moon with Jupiter, and be aware that whatever you've been structuring in Pisces isn't quite done yet.
Hmm.
More to happen there still. Any final tidbits?
I think I'm spent.
It's time to go party on a houseboat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, to everybody, to you, Kate.
Bye.
Bye.